Hey, so I don't know if you noticed this or not, but there's a lot less dick jokes going around.
A lot less dick jokes.
Yeah, have you picked up on that? Have you noticed there's a lot less?
I guess, yeah. I don't know if this is a dick joke.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm embarrassed.
Oh my god, it was the funniest article I've ever read in my entire life.
I watched a couple of compilation videos on YouTube. I've got it all figured out.
You're listening to the No Big Banana Podcast.
Welcome back to the No Big Banana Podcast. My name is Charles.
My name's Cody.
And Justin isn't here.
Where is he?
Thus, the less dick jokes.
Oh.
I don't know.
That was the dick joke. The dick isn't here. Get it?
Well, Justin is not with us. I only thought it fitting, partially keeping in tune with social distancing, seeing it as an opportunity because you weren't here last week. Why weren't you here last week?
I had an event.
An event?
Yeah.
Like on Facebook?
It wasn't, well, I don't want to say anything too big because I don't want people to think that I'm mingling with crowds.
Do you work for the CIA?
Because I'm not mingling with crowds, so I'm not infected.
Do you work for the NSA?
No, but if they have an open spot,
oh, dude, you would fit right in there. Oh, okay. So there was the thing I was going to tell you earlier that I hesitated and wanted to tell you on the podcast. In last night's RuPaul episode, guess who was on there as a guest?
Ron Paul.
No. But it's funny that you guessed. It's funny that you guessed politicians, because it was in my knowledge, first politician that's ever been on the show the form of AOC.
I think that's not surprising.
It's interesting to see. Like,
Yeah.
is she taking the? Is she going to become the new face of the Democratic Party?
Oh,
As we see some of these people start to die off.
yeah. It depends on which direction they go. If they want to go full progressive, it seems right now they're hanging on to the Joe Biden era.
That is so weird to me. He is so out of control.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It's. I feel bad for the man.
He's gonna get destroyed. He's gonna get ripped apart.
He was not always that way.
No.
It's just that
Fighting Joe has the name Fighting Joe for a reason.
He's just old as fuck.
Yeah. He's like a scrambled egg.
I can't
he has
imagine.
no idea what he's doing.
No, and then the fact that the DNC is comfortable with making him their guy just like speaks. It's
It shows how out of touch they are.
His VP is gonna make or break the election.
Yeah, if he picks Buttigieg, I might vote for him in the slight chance that,
Well, I mean, the man
somehow he becomes president.
The man can't speak very well. If he he literally cannot physically speak well.
Yeah.
Something is going on in his brain.
Yeah.
And if that's gonna kill him in the next couple of years, not that I would wish that on anyone.
If not possibly make it so that he's inoperable in acting in office.
Right.
And he can't be there anymore.
Yeah,
He doesn't even have to die. He just has to get the Reagan treatment.
When you are getting something, if you're experiencing something like Alzheimer's or dementia, it doesn't get better.
No, it doesn't.
So if he's doing this now, what's he going to be doing if he's addressing the nation 2 or 3 years from now?
Just imagine the State of the Union.
Yeah.
What's that going to sound like?
Just a bunch of gobbledygook.
I don't want to think about Donald Trump's State of the Union, because that's going to be disgusting. But what would Joe Biden's State of the Union sound like?
I don't know. I think I'm turning back to just not voting.
I'm not going to vote right now. As where we stand, I'm keeping it to myself again.
I just can't, in good conscience, participate.
I'll vote for other things, but I'm not going to vote for the president.
I mean, we've got 2 people, both of which have like sexual allegations.
Yeah.
Both of which are horrible to listen to.
And notorious for touching children for some reason.
Horrible to listen to.
Yeah.
And out of their minds.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like Biden has great policies. It's nothing that you haven't heard before or that's been attempted before.
Well,
almost.
That's why his VP is important. Because that's why I think that if he was smart, he would grab a VP like Buttigieg.
Or Klobuchar. I think Klobuchar would do well.
Klobuchar
she didn't poll
would do well,
but I think that her stance and just being,
a
pretty powerful political woman.
I didn't mind her towards the end.
No, I liked her at the end. I liked her a lot at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't like her in the beginning. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of her. But nearing the end, she showed how moderate she can really be.
Well, I think also, like, you know, people like Bernie and even Warren had some radical shit to say.
Yeah.
I think that those people highlighted Klobuchar's middle-of-the-road policy,
Right.
which is good. Like, she seemed way more lovable towards the end.
Yeah, she did.
As opposed to somebody like Kamala, who, like, came in
Fierce.
hot, killing it.
Yeah.
And then, like, Tulsi just, like, smashed her at the debate. And it was like, the DNC kind of got both of them out of there at about that time.
They just let the cat fight happen.
And then poor old Elizabeth Warren, they're like, sorry, sister, not this time.
No, not next time either.
And then
Sorry.
And then Bernie again.
Bernie's done.
I just like if there was ever a fucking patsy, Bernie Sanders, consistent in his ideals, seemingly a very nice person, no scandals.
Yeah.
You know, is obviously wealthy, but not wealthy like the other politicians in Washington.
No.
He certainly doesn't flaunt it. He lives frugally. He's a grandfather.
Yep.
There's so many things about him that are great, but you mentioned the word socialism, and all of that goes away.
Yeah. He needed somebody to rein him in. If he had maybe possibly a better campaign manager, and I don't know who his campaign manager was.
Well, what do you mean, rein him in what way?
Rebrand socialism
As an entirely new thing?
as its own thing. As don't call it socialism. Don't give the Republicans the ammunition to call it
true.
socialism. Do what Andrew Yang did, the freedom dividend.
Right.
It's not, you know,
Universal
basic income. No.
Speaking
No.
of that,
it's the freedom dividend.
did you see that the Pope
preached
wrote
for it.
an Easter letter talking
Yeah.
about universal income?
Yep.
Man, I bet you that's a weird position for Christian conservatives right now.
Yeah, but how many listen to the Pope though?
That's true.
None. There's a handful.
Which is a shame
now.
because this Pope seems to be actually a good
Yeah,
guy.
he's a fantastic person. He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he seems to
But
be great.
one of those things where we are in the world.
Yeah.
For some reason, you have very staunch religious people that don't listen to the leader of their religion. So
That's very weird.
I don't know.
But who else? And Pete Buttigieg kind of just like, I feel like he kind of just
Saved face.
I feel like he kind of like walked his own way out in a way.
I think
like,
he just got
all of that shit with Shadow was not a fucking good look.
No, not at all. But it wasn't him. He took the brunt of it. Or
He strikes me as a guy who they would have brought into the room and been like, all right, look, Pete, we know that you don't want to do this, but here's why you have to. And there's some like Illuminati reason for it. And Pete's just like, oh, God damn it. I'll have to do the right thing by the American people by making them think I've let them down. That seems like a very Pete Buttigieg thing that would happen.
It does. But I think he should have slow crawled it a little bit more. Straight from mayor to president is pretty
it
intense.
is. It
He
is.
should have gone for governor or senator at first.
It is
and
intense,
then weaseled his way in.
Yeah, but you know, I think that
But I respect how far he got. Shit.
it's like LeBron going straight in from high school.
Yeah.
Or Kobe too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if they're that good.
I agree.
And I mean, he was a fucking. Because here's the thing, it's annoying because it's almost like this old system that we've been using for this side or the other has just been kind of bursting at the seams for the last few presidencies.
Right.
I mean, as you can tell, each side gets worse every time.
Yeah.
It's like we thought that we'd hit critical mass with somebody like Donald Trump, and then Joe Biden, who is fucking senile,
Yeah.
is like, here's the other choice. And it's like, okay, I think that the American people have had enough of that shit.
Right.
And so with that said, somebody like Pete felt like a breath of fresh air.
It did.
In the sense of like, oh, this is a guy that I could vote for. Oh, but unfortunately, we're still using this stupid screwy system, so he's
Right.
not an option.
Right. I think he got weaseled out, honestly. I think that they just straight up told him, it's Joe Biden's time. Get out of the way. You'll have your time in 4 or 8 years.
Yeah, but it was...
That's it. That's all they told him. They said, you're young. You're going to survive. He won't. It's his turn.
God.
I 100% believe that. He had donor requirements. He had the support. There was no reason for him to drop out before Super Tuesday.
It's a shitty position.
I don't think that they could have accurately projected the polls for that.
It's a shitty situation to be in because on the one hand, like, I cannot stand most conservatives.
Yeah.
I just don't get along with them. I get along with liberals.
Yeah.
Liberals piss me off every now and then, especially with their Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
And the hippie shit gets on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah.
But they're more bearable to deal with, in my opinion.
Right.
At the same
it's just
time,
becoming worse on each side. That's the thing.
I can't fault the conservatives for hating on the Democrats.
No.
Because the Democrats are fucking stupid. Because they do shit like this. They put up candidates like Joe Biden.
Or
and it's
try
like,
to impeach Trump.
And it's like, what am I going to do?
With nothing.
I'm going to tell a conservative that I disagree with that I've got a better option on the Democratic side. It's unfortunate that we have to operate under this structure.
Yeah, it's
why we can't have viable candidates where it's more of a meritocracy, where it's less about money. And I think we've got to be going that direction because, look, I think Bernie being on Rogan proved that none of this shit on television matters anymore.
No. If you do it right, you can run a political campaign for free.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, for a moment, Bernie really had a shot.
Yeah.
You know, in 16, he never had one.
Right.
They steamrolled him with Hillary the whole way.
Right.
In this, he actually had a shot.
Yeah.
And then these fucking, old man's death rattle Democrats stumble in and they're like, no, we got to go with Joe.
Yeah.
And all of these fucking Southern Democrats down here voted for Joe because Bernie's too extreme.
Yeah.
And now where are we?
When in reality, Bernie is not too extreme. Current events.
That's the news thing. Semi-current events. Oh, so we could talk about coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
So we're in week
3
or 4 of quarantine, and it's supposedly supposed to last through April 30th.
Supposedly.
Maybe longer.
Save summer. Stay inside.
You think he's going to open us up?
I mean, I told you I thought earlier, but I don't want to get into my conspiracy theories.
Well, no, let's talk about it. People want to hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying it's not an actual thing in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
because
no.
It is. 100%. But it's the fear of it. You can take precautionary measures in order to mitigate the risk of spreading everything.
Right.
So, like our job, for example, we operate perfectly fine. Everybody that came to us before can still come to us and get exactly what they need.
Right.
We don't touch anybody. We don't see anybody. We see them through the glass and for a second and a half when we hand them stuff through the door.
Right.
The companies can still operate 150%. So Donald Trump making the decision to close the country and close the economy weeks after him saying that the disease is fake is a political move.
Well, now hold on. He didn't say that the disease was fake.
Yeah.
He said, isn't that there's a thing about there's a way that he crafts things.
Yeah, it allows him to back up and reword it
very easily.
Yeah.
He speaks with enough. He keeps things short enough and
vague enough.
Yes. Yeah. He keeps them vague enough so that they can easily be manipulated later.
Exactly.
And so he says, and another thing that he does is he's got a really crafty way about accompanying sentiments to things that he can later claim them to be innocuous.
Right.
So like he did with that. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was like, that's their next hoax.
Right.
He was signaling to all of his people that over the course of the next few weeks, you're going to see a bunch of shit in the news about the coronavirus, and they're trying to scare you.
Right.
Because they're the enemy, remember, and they're against me. And if they're against me, then they're against you.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
What I'm doing now is just letting you know that all of that is bullshit, and you'll listen to me, and I'll give my press conferences at the same time as your local news, so it's interrupted, so you're only listening to me. And
like I said, it's all politically driven.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
He keeps it closed until August, where you cancel summer. He says everything's back open September. Unemployment rate drops drastically by half because everybody just opens back up as normal.
Right.
Fauci said it was going to happen eventually. Everything's just going to go straight back to normal and everybody will be able to get a job or their job back.
I think he's going to get fired.
He's gone.
I mean, he has to be.
He's either gone or he's very well protected. That's the two options. That's it.
In the last day or so, some of the things that he said contrary to Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fucking quoted as saying, if we would have done something earlier than we did, we would have saved lives. Right. When I saw that, I was like, oh, he's gone.
Right. like I said, he's either gone or he's very well protected. That's the only two things that I mean,
maybe he's higher on the Illuminati totem pole than Donald because he's been there longer. He's a Reagan guy.
Well, what exactly is... He's the head of...
He's the head of the National Health... The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Yeah. Okay. Who oversees that? Is it a board?
I mean, it's
an institute.
Yeah, it's a government institute.
Don't know if Trump can fire him.
It's one of the 27 institutes that make up the National Institute of Health.
Okay.
It's an agency of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
So he more than likely could fire him.
Oh, he 100% could. He's a government employee.
Yeah.
But he's been there since Reagan.
Yeah.
And up to this point, I noticed...
So it's very potential that he's very well protected and connected within all inner circles.
There's a part of Donald Trump that is definitely like in that Illuminati crowd.
Yeah.
But there's another part of Trump that's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
And so that's been clear.
I think the Rothschilds look at Trump and use him as like their go-getter. They laugh at him.
Well, yeah, for sure.
He may be in the circle, but he's,
yeah, he's not
part of the circle.
Yeah, but he also, I think, is kind of probably pissing some people off with his behavior. He's tied in there somewhere. I think he fires Fauci.
It's very...
Or Fauci mysteriously retires and says, like, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Though it wouldn't be surprising if he retired after this, though.
Well, that's what I mean.
I would call it good.
Well,
let's be real.
Not until it's fucking seen through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think he's going this week. Is what I'm saying. After he said that, he said that if we would have acted sooner, we would have saved lives.
Right, but he has directly contradicted Donald Trump on stage.
But not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that. That was a policy objection.
Yeah.
That was not everything up to that point. This point has been scientific.
Right.
That was a political objection.
Right.
When they asked him straight up, like, what you think? He's like, and yes, it is scientific, but what he's saying is like, yeah, if the powers that be, in this case, Donald Trump, would have done something sooner, we would have saved lives. That's a pretty powerful statement.
It is, 100%.
And if he truly feels that way, I mean, if I'm Donald Trump, he's got to go.
Yeah.
I can't have him hanging around anymore.
Yeah, I see it.
We got to get somebody 100%. Else in there. Somebody that's more reliable. Yeah. That I know is not going to make me look dumb.
Yeah.
Make me look dumber than I already do.
Yeah, because I don't need help with that.
Oh, my God. And then we're upwards of 21,000 deaths. It's not going to be that many deaths, although a bunch of people went to Easter church today, so wouldn't be surprised if there's a spike in the next week or so. You got to do it for Jesus, I guess.
That's another constitutional thing that I read. It was, I think it was Kentucky? I can't remember exactly where. But the police in a certain district said that they were going to record the license plates of everybody that attended an Easter service at a church.
Oh, that wasn't Kentucky, bro.
Oh, no, it was somewhere... pretty, because I remember I was like, that's not right.
Like West Virginia I was
or
like,
something. What the fuck? Those people are gonna get shot.
Yeah.
But no, I read it and it was, and I was like, I agree. Like, I agree as much as I disagree. Like, because that door opens up just flurry.
It is messy
of possibilities.
Yeah.
Because one, you're in a religious area.
Right.
You're already in a very, very gray constitutional area. Well, not even gray, it's blatant.
Yeah.
So you're already messing with that, and then you're opening the door to say, well, maybe we should just record everybody's license plates numbers that go to this specific religion's church. Because
the FBI already does that kind of shit.
They do, but not your local police department on a massive database scale.
That's true.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly,
and it's in good times.
Local police doing shit doesn't worry me as much as the FBI doing shit.
Yeah, but local police turn into the Gestapo under the right government.
Yeah, but also local police are a lot more likely to buck back against that tyranny
100%.
Than the FBI or the CIA.
100%, yeah.
So, I mean,
it's more or less of like, what a certain somebody in 1930s had to do to the police force, gut it and replace the lieutenants
all that shit, like
everybody.
With prohibition and stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there was a lot of that.
I was talking about in Europe.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
To form the real Gestapo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, police are, they can feel Gestapo-like.
And I always like the police that are actually there for the people. Like, 100%. There are so many of them.
There are so many more. There's an overwhelming number of good cops compared to the bad ones.
100%.
And even in my own experience, I think I've only experienced and granted, I'm a white guy, but I think in the number of interactions I've had with cops, maybe 2 of them were assholes.
I've had,
and then and it could have just been that they were having a bad day.
Yeah.
Most of them are real cool.
Yeah, they're just there.
Mean, you would have to be really on the face of what that operation is, what that call is for, serving and protecting your fellow man.
Yeah.
It's a noble calling.
Yeah,
and a lot of people that are in that profession are noble. Most of them are noble. It's just that it's a situation where if you've got a bad one in there, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
Because you're giving these sociopath type people real power. And, you don't always find out until it's too late.
Right.
Until they, blow their wife's brains out or something.
Exactly. It's definitely one of those things. But it's, good to say that there are more good cops than there are bad cops.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Oh,
yeah, look at there. Oh, and so I'm not going to have Justin yelling in my face about nonsense.
No.
This is being interesting for me. So, if you didn't already know, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at No Big Banana. Our show airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. on all your favorite podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. If you have any questions or concerns or comments or characters and stuff for D&D,
just let us know how you're doing during the quarantine.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're up to.
Send us an email at nobigbanana@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to answer you. If I don't answer you directly, then I'll just answer you at some point on the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about it on the show.
Maybe we can do a small little thing where we read the notes that we get from people in quarantine. If we get any.
Oh,
but that would be fun.
That's true.
If you have anything to say,